When humanity fired its first railgun, no one in the galaxy could speak. Ethan Brooks leaned back in his chair and rubbed his eyes. The council chamber was massive, stretching high above him, with walls that shimmered in colors he could not name. Aliens of all shapes and sizes moved around him, their voices a mixture of clicks, hums, and tones that made his head spin. Humans were a tiny part of the council, almost an afterthought. They were here because Earth had survived when others would have been destroyed. Yet in this room it often felt like survival meant nothing. He glanced at Lily Moore sitting beside him. She was quiet, her notebook open, fingers tapping lightly against the cover. Lily had been sent here as an observer, a civilian engineer, but she had a sharp mind and a careful eye. She had already noticed things about the council that most humans missed. The aliens were proud, arrogant even, and they assumed humans were weak and unimportant. "Do you think they take us seriously?" Ethan whispered. Lily shook her head slightly, not taking her eyes off the chamber. "Not yet. They think we are small and slow, but they also do not know what humans are capable of." Their conversation was cut off as the head delegate, a tall creature with silver skin and eyes that glowed faintly, raised his hand. Silence spread through the chamber like a tide. Ethan straightened. "Representatives of Earth," the delegate said in a voice that seemed to vibrate in the air, "you speak of threats that do not exist. Your warnings are unnecessary. The galaxy is safe. Your weapons are primitive. Kinetic energy is obsolete. We have shields and weapons that make your planet's defense laughable." Ethan's jaw tightened. He had heard this before. The aliens had mocked humans for centuries. They had laughed at human ships, their armor, their weapons. But humans survived. Humans adapted. Humans endured. Lily leaned closer to him. "They think we are simple," she whispered. "That is their mistake." The council continued. One alien after another spoke, listing their fleets, their technology, and their victories over other species. Ethan kept notes quietly. He had been taught to observe, not react. Diplomacy was delicate. A wrong word could mean war or worse, exclusion. Then a smaller, wiry alien stood. Its skin was dark, almost like a shadow, and its voice was sharp. "Humans survive because they are lucky. They do not have power, they do not have skill, only chance. If the council allowed them to enter military operations, they would fail. It is not intelligence, it is not courage, it is blind fortune." Lily's pen stopped midair. She wrote a single word, blind. She understood immediately. The aliens did not understand humans. They saw only what they could measure, what they could predict. But humans did not act only by logic. Humans acted by will, by stubbornness, by refusal to quit even when everything else failed. Ethan cleared his throat and stood. The room quieted again. "Council delegates," he began, keeping his voice calm, "I will not argue about our luck. I will speak about what we have built, what we can defend, and what happens if we are ignored." He showed them a small model of a weapon. Nothing flashy, nothing glowing, just a simple railgun design, its long barrel resting on a frame. "This is kinetic energy, yes. A railgun. Simple, basic. But it can fire a projectile at speeds you cannot block with your shields. Not your energy shields, not your force fields. If used correctly, it can pierce any ship you have in this room." A ripple of laughter spread across the chamber. One alien delegate, wide and blue-skinned, leaned back and chuckled. "You think this stick, can threaten us?" Ethan ignored the laughter. "I do not think," he said. "I know, we have tested it, we have measured it, we have built it for defense, and if you do not believe it now, you will learn soon enough." Murmurs rose across the room. Some delegates whispered to each other, their voices full of amusement. Others frowned, their glowing eyes narrowing. No one expected a human to have such courage or such conviction. The council dismissed them for the day. Ethan and Lily walked through the halls, listening to the quiet chatter of alien advisors. "They think we are weak," Ethan said, "but they do not understand survival. They do not understand what it takes to keep a planet alive for thousands of years. Lily nodded. And they do not understand that humans do not give up, even when the odds are against them. Outside the council chamber, Earth's representatives gathered near their ship. The sky above the space station was dark, dotted with stars. Ethan stared at them, feeling a mixture of pride and frustration. Humans were small in the galaxy, almost invisible, but they were not powerless. They would not be dismissed. Weeks passed, and Ethan continued his work as a liaison. He attended meetings, took notes, and observed. Meanwhile, Lily spent her time learning about alien engineering, studying how they built ships, how they powered weapons, and how they measured energy. She made careful notes in her notebook. Humans were primitive by their standards, yes, but they had something the aliens did not: imagination, persistence, and adaptability. One evening, Ethan received a message from Earth Command. It was short: Project Railgun ready for final review. He felt a tight knot in his chest. This was it. The weapon they had built in secret, far from alien eyes, was about to prove its worth. Humanity had been underestimated for centuries. Now, it was time to show what humans could do. Ethan and Lily met in a quiet observation room overlooking the planet below. Cities glowed with light, networks of communication connecting millions of people. The railgun platform orbited silently, hidden from view but ready. "Do you think they will listen?" Lily asked. "They do not have to listen," Ethan said. "They will see, and when they see, no one will speak." The next council meeting was scheduled for the following week. Alien delegates would gather again, confident in their superiority. Ethan knew that confidence could be dangerous. Overconfidence led to mistakes, and humans had learned to use mistakes to their advantage. Meanwhile, on Earth, Alex Carter supervised the final checks on the railgun system. Megan Price ran calculations over and over, ensuring that nothing would go wrong. Humans were cautious. They had learned that mistakes were deadly, that a single failure could erase a planet. At night, Ethan walked along the observation deck, staring at the stars. He thought of humanity's history: wars fought without advanced shields, colonies built on harsh planets, survival against predators, and environmental collapse. Every generation had learned to endure, to adapt, to fight. And now, they had something the galaxy had never seen. Lily joined him quietly. "You think the galaxy is ready for this?" she asked. Ethan shook his head, smiling faintly. "No, that is why it will work. They are ready for debate, for diplomacy, for arrogance. But they are not ready for the truth about humans." The truth was simple. Humans were unpredictable. Humans were resilient. Humans could build a weapon in secret, test it, and be ready to use it when the time came. And when the time came, the galaxy would not have words. They would only have awe, shock, and fear. In the council chamber, weeks later, delegates prepared for another session. Aliens argued about trade, about borders, about politics. Ethan and Lily sat quietly, their eyes on the feeds showing the railgun platform orbiting Earth. No one suspected that humanity had a silent answer, a demonstration waiting to be unleashed. Ethan tapped his fingers against his notebook. "They think we are small," he said softly. "They do not understand what humans are willing to do to survive." Lily smiled. "And when they learn, the silence will be beautiful." The first part of humanity's story had been written, not in speeches, not in debates, but in quiet determination. They had survived. They had prepared. They had built something unimaginable to the galaxy. The aliens would learn soon enough. And when they did, no one would speak. The human railgun sat in orbit above the planet, silent and massive, a machine built for one purpose. Its long barrel stretched over the curvature of the Earth, reflecting starlight like a quiet promise. No alien had seen it yet, and the humans intended to keep it that way. Alex Carter walked along the control platform, checking panels and screens. Every meter of wiring, every connection, every component had been tested multiple times. Mistakes were not allowed. Humanity had learned that survival depended on precision and preparation. "Status?" he asked Megan Price, who was crouched over a console, typing numbers into a program that constantly recalculated the railgun's alignment and power. "All systems stable," Megan replied without looking up. "The magnetic accelerators are calibrated. The guidance system is perfect. The projectile is within specifications. If we fire, it will hit exactly where we want." Alex nodded. He knew it sounded simple, but it was not. Building a railgun that could fire a projectile fast enough to pierce the shields of an alien ship was an achievement beyond anything the galaxy expected humans to create. Yet here it was. "Do you ever think they will believe it?" Alex asked quietly. Megan smiled faintly. "They won't, not until they see it." Above them, the stars were still. The station seemed to float in silence, but Alex and Megan both felt the tension in the air. Humans had kept this project secret for decades. Entire generations had worked in hidden orbital factories, on ships that never appeared on alien sensors, in laboratories that were invisible to satellite scans. Every test, every calculation, every failure had been carefully hidden from the rest of the galaxy. "This weapon is simple, but simple is strong," Megan said, tapping the side of the railgun's barrel. "No exotic energy, no shields, no fancy tech, just physics, mass, speed, and force. That is all a human needs." Alex chuckled. "You make it sound like a baseball bat." Megan shrugged. "A baseball bat that can punch through a battleship." They spent hours checking the system. The railgun needed no exotic fuel, no quantum cores, no antimatter reactors. It ran on electricity and magnets, energy that humans could generate from their planet's orbiting stations. Aliens had dismissed it as outdated, primitive, and useless. That mistake would cost them more than they could imagine. Meanwhile, on Earth, Ethan Brooks watched the feeds from the station. The humans in command centers around the planet monitored every signal. Humans had sensors everywhere, on satellites, ships, and even planets. They knew what was happening in their solar system at all times. "They think they can ignore us," Ethan said to Lily Moore as she leaned over the console. "They think we are primitive. They are wrong." Lily nodded. "And that is why we built it in secret. They never saw it coming, and they never will until it fires." For weeks, the humans continued their preparation. Engineers like Alex and scientists like Megan worked in shifts, ensuring that every calculation was correct. The railgun platform itself was automated, capable of tracking targets without human input. Yet humans preferred to watch, to be ready in case something unexpected happened. They ran simulations over and over, sending virtual projectiles against alien shields. The simulations showed the same result every time. The projectile passed through shields and armor as if they were paper. Every alien ship tested was destroyed in seconds. One night, Megan walked along the observation deck, staring at the stars. Alex joined her carrying a tablet full of data. "Do you ever wonder what it will feel like?" Megan asked quietly. "When we actually fire it," Alex paused. "I think silence. That is all we will hear. The galaxy will not speak. They will not know what hit them. And we will know that we did what was necessary." Megan looked at him, understanding. Humans had survived because they acted when others hesitated. They had built, planned, and waited patiently. They did not need to announce their power. They only needed to use it at the right time. As days passed, the humans also worked on logistics. The projectile for the railgun was small but incredibly dense, made from materials that could withstand extreme acceleration. Scientists calculated the exact trajectory for the first test. Earth Command insisted that it be aimed at a distant, uninhabited asteroid, far from human colonies. It would be a demonstration of the weapon's power, nothing more. Meanwhile, alien diplomats continued their debates in the Council. They argued about borders, trade, and technology. None of them suspected that humans were preparing a weapon that could challenge their fleets. They laughed about humans, slow ships, simple weapons, and primitive technology. Back on the railgun station, Alex and Megan prepared for the final dry runs. Every system was checked. Communications were secure. Power levels were verified. They ran diagnostics, confirming that the railgun could fire multiple rounds without failure. Every calculation correct? Alex asked. Yes, Megan said. Everything is ready. If the council wants to see proof, they will have it soon. The humans also practiced discipline. No one on the station celebrated. There was no cheering, no boasting, no unnecessary talk. They knew that power without control was dangerous. They were patient. They were precise. And they waited for the right moment. One day, Ethan received a message from a small alien ship approaching the solar system. Its sensors detected nothing unusual about Earth. It was on a routine diplomatic mission. Yet, Ethan knew that humans had already prepared for a moment like this. He watched the ships approach on the console. "They think they are safe," he said. "They have no idea what is waiting for them." Lily Moore looked at the screen. "And they won't until it is too late." The humans also trained their teams in response coordination. In case of an attack, every station, every ship, every sensor was ready to report instantly. Humans relied on communication, planning, and quick adaptation. Aliens may have had technology, but humans had speed of mind and willingness to act where others hesitated. Alex and Megan checked the railgun one last time. Every panel, every connection, every cable was perfect. The guidance system hummed softly. The barrel reflected starlight like a silent promise. Megan touched the side of the railgun and whispered, "It is ready." Alex nodded. "And the galaxy will not believe it until they see it." Below the station, Earth cities continued as usual. Humans went about their lives, unaware of the weapon orbiting above. Farmers tended fields, engineers repaired machines, and children played in parks. To them, life was simple, but humanity had prepared for something the rest of the galaxy could not imagine. The railgun was a symbol of human ingenuity and persistence. It was not flashy, it did not glow with energy, but it represented the core of humanity. The will to survive, the patience to plan, and the courage to act when others doubted. Weeks passed without incident. The humans continued tests, adjusting minor details, ensuring the system was flawless. Every step was calculated, every risk measured. They were ready. Ethan Brooks and Lily Moore walked along the observation deck one evening, watching the stars. "Do you think they will listen this time?" Lily asked. "They won't need to," Ethan said. "They will see, and when they see, the silence will speak for itself." Megan Price and Alex Carter continued their work in the station's control room. The railgun waited, quiet, patient, ready. It was more than a weapon. It was a message. Humanity had survived countless threats on Earth. Humanity had endured wars, plagues, and disasters. And now, the galaxy would learn that humans could not be ignored. The aliens in the council continued their debates, unaware that humans had already built a weapon capable of changing the balance of power. They laughed about humans, primitive technology, thinking it harmless. Their arrogance would soon meet human preparation. Finally, the day came when the railgun would be ready for demonstration. Alex and Megan ran one last simulation. The results were perfect. Every target destroyed in seconds. Every calculation verified. Ethan and Lily watched silently. The humans had done what others could not. They had built something simple yet powerful. Something that relied not on magic, not on exotic energy, but on sheer physics and human determination. Megan looked at the railgun and whispered, "It is time." Alex nodded. "Let's make history." The human railgun sat quietly in orbit, waiting for the first target. It was a simple machine, but it carried the weight of centuries of human survival. The galaxy had ignored humans for too long. Soon, they would see the truth. And the galaxy would not speak. The alert sounded like a low hum through the human command center. Ethan Brooks and Lily Moore were already at their stations. their eyes scanning the screens. The warning was clear. An alien fleet had crossed into human-controlled space. Sensors detected hundreds of ships, sleek and fast, their energy shields glowing in pale blue. They were heading straight for a human colony. Ethan's jaw tightened. "They didn't listen," he said quietly. "They thought they could push humans around. They thought Earth was weak." Lily leaned closer to the screen. "And they will learn differently, but we have to act fast. Every second counts." On the station, Alex Carter and Megan Price worked quickly. Every system on the railgun was ready, every calculation already verified. The projectile was in place, the guidance system aligned, and the platform was stable. The humans had prepared for this moment for years. Kyle Turner, the commander of the Orbital Defense Network, walked briskly into the control room. His face was tense. "We have clearance," he said. "Authorization to engage if necessary. This is not a drill," Ethan nodded. "It will be necessary." The alien fleet advanced, confident in their superiority. They had seen human ships before and considered them slow and weak. They believed their energy shields would protect them, that their weapons would destroy anything Earth could build. They were wrong. Lily whispered, "They don't know what's waiting for them." Kyle spoke to the entire team, his voice steady but firm. "Remember, this is defense. We do not start wars, we do not strike first. We respond only if they attack. Stay calm, follow protocol." The humans had spent years preparing. Every sensor, every ship, every station was connected to a central network. They could track enemy movements, predict their tactics, and respond instantly. Humans relied on speed of mind, coordination, and courage. The aliens relied on technology and arrogance. As the fleet approached, the first ships fired their weapons at a distant mining station. The humans watched as shields flashed, alarms rang, and small explosions rocked the facility. Civilians were in danger. Ethan's hand hovered over the console. "We can't wait any longer," he said. "The railgun has to fire." Alex and Megan ran final checks. "All systems green," Megan confirmed. "The platform is stable, projectiles ready, guidance locked." Kyle took a deep breath. "Authorize the first strike." The control room fell silent. Everyone knew what was at stake. The railgun had never been used in combat. It was simple, basic technology, but humans had refined it to perfection. They had built it to protect their world, and now it would be tested. The railgun hummed as energy flowed through its systems. The projectile slid smoothly into the barrel. The platform adjusted its aim, tracking the lead ship of the alien fleet. Ethan watched the screens, his heart pounding. "Here it comes," he said softly. The firing sequence began. The railgun's magnetic accelerators surged, sending the projectile hurtling forward at unimaginable speed. There was no flash, no explosion, no warning. Just motion, pure and unstoppable. The lead alien ship barely had time to register the incoming projectile. Shields flared, trying to block it, but it was too fast. The projectile struck the ship, tearing through the hull, engines, and weapon systems in seconds. The sensors recorded the impact, but the images were almost unbelievable. The ship was gone, destroyed in a way that defied logic. Other alien ships nearby slowed, confused, and then tried to respond. But the humans had anticipated their moves. The railgun fired again, hitting 2 more ships with the same precision. In the council chamber across the galaxy, alien delegates were watching through live feeds. Silence spread among them. Their eyes widened, their voices faltered. No one had expected this. Humans had fired a weapon they considered primitive, and it was destroying their fleets faster than they could comprehend. Back in the command center, Kyle Turner shouted, "Keep firing. Target every ship heading for the colony." Alex and Megan worked without hesitation. The railgun could fire multiple rounds, and humans had calculated every angle, every trajectory. Ships were destroyed in seconds, one after another. The alien fleet was in chaos. Their formations broke, their shields failed, and their weapons could not penetrate the humans' defenses. Ethan watched the screens and felt a surge of pride. Humans had survived countless threats on Earth. They had endured wars, plagues, and disasters. And now they were showing the galaxy why no one should underestimate them. Lily Moore leaned over the console, recording every detail. "They thought humans were weak," she whispered, "but we are not, and we never were." The alien fleet tried to retreat, but humans had anticipated that too. Sensors tracked every ship, every maneuver, every attempt to escape. The railgun fired again and again, cutting a path through the enemy. For the first time, humans were fighting on a scale that the galaxy could see. Not with flashy energy weapons or massive fleets, but with precision, strategy, and determination. Every projectile that left the railgun carried the weight of centuries of survival, of adaptation, of human will. Ethan felt a strange calm as he watched the destruction. Humans did not rejoice in death, but they understood the necessity of defense. They were protecting their colonies, their people, and their planet. The alien fleet's command ship tried to communicate, sending messages of surrender and negotiation. But it was too late. The humans had already shown their power. The railgun was unstoppable and the aliens had underestimated it. Kyle Turner nodded to Ethan. "We are winning, but stay alert. They may try something unexpected." Ethan agreed. "Humans are ready for it. They always are." As the battle continued, the alien fleet realized that they could not survive against humans. Ships exploded, engines failed, and weapons systems went offline. The humans had not only defended their colony but had demonstrated the true strength of their species. In the council chamber, delegates whispered among themselves. No one spoke loudly. The silence was heavy, full of disbelief and fear. Humans had fired a weapon that should not have been possible, and they had done it with calm, careful precision. Back on the railgun station, Megan Price watched the final rounds hit their targets. "All ships neutralized," she said. "The colony is safe." Alex Carter nodded. "We have done what we came to do. Humanity is safe and the galaxy has learned something new." Ethan and Lily looked at the screens, seeing the last of the alien ships retreat. Silence filled the command center, but it was not empty. It was a silence of awe, of relief, of understanding. Humans had fired their first railgun, and the galaxy had no words. Lily whispered, "They will not speak. Not now, not ever." Ethan nodded. "No, they will remember this moment for the rest of their lives. They will remember that humans survive, humans endure, and humans fight when they must." The humans had proven something more than technology. They had proven that even a small species could defend itself with intelligence, strategy, and determination. The aliens had thought humans were weak. They were wrong. Humans had waited, prepared, and struck when it mattered most. As the command center settled into quiet, Ethan looked at Lily and said, "This is only the beginning. The galaxy has learned one lesson today: never underestimate humanity." Lily smiled faintly. "And next time they will not even think about challenging us. They will know the truth." Above them, the railgun sat in orbit, silent once more. Its work was done, but its presence remained a warning. Humans had built it, tested it, and used it, and the galaxy had seen what humans were capable of. Ethan thought of Earth, of the people living their lives unaware of the battle that had just happened. They had survived because of humans' courage, planning, and skill. Humanity had acted with calm precision, proving that even a small species could change the course of events in the galaxy. The alien fleet would retreat, but the lesson was clear. Humans were not to be underestimated. Their weapons were effective, their strategy flawless, and their determination unbreakable. And the galaxy had no words. The alien council chamber was silent. For the first time, delegates from dozens of species did not speak. Eyes widened, voices stilled, and the usual arrogance that filled the room had disappeared. On the large view screens, live feeds showed what had happened near the human colony. Entire fleets of their ships destroyed in minutes by a single human railgun. No one knew what to say. Their eyes scanned the images, trying to find a flaw, a trick, something that would explain the impossible. But there was nothing. Every ship, every shield, every weapon system had been cut through with precision and speed. And the humans had not even used flashy energy weapons or massive fleets. They had relied on simple technology, physics, and their own patience. Ethan Brooks watched the council feed from the human command center. Beside him, Lily Moore was quiet, her eyes scanning every reaction. Humans had expected disbelief, maybe mockery, but this was better. Silence was the loudest acknowledgement of all. "They can't comprehend it," Ethan said softly. "They have never seen a species act with patience, precision, and power all at once." Lily nodded. "They thought humans were weak. They thought our weapons were primitive. They were wrong." On the orbital station, Alex Carter and Megan Price observed the remaining alien movements. Some ships were trying to retreat, but most were frozen in place, unsure what to do next. Their command structures had collapsed. They had never imagined a weapon like the railgun, a simple but unstoppable tool. Megan spoke quietly to Alex. "This is what happens when a species refuses to give up, no matter what others say. Humans have survived countless disasters, and now the galaxy sees why." Alex nodded. "We built this weapon for defense, but it is more than that. It is a message. Never underestimate humans." Back on Earth, Ethan and Lily continued monitoring the feeds. The aliens tried to communicate, sending messages of surrender, questions, and pleas. But the humans had already made a decision. The battle was over. The humans had proven their power. Any further aggression would be met with the same unstoppable force. In the council chamber, the silence stretched. Alien delegates who were usually loud, brash, and confident looked at each other nervously. Some tried to speak, but words failed them. The humans had done something they could not understand, something that shattered their assumptions about a minor species. Lily whispered to Ethan, "This is what we wanted, not destruction for pride, but respect through proof. They will never forget this moment." Ethan agreed. "Humans do not seek war, but we will not be ignored, and now the galaxy knows it." Alex and Megan continued running simulations, making sure that the railgun could respond instantly if needed. The humans were not reckless. They were precise. They were ready. Every sensor, every system, every calculation had been prepared for this moment. The alien fleet had been destroyed, but humanity would remain vigilant. Kyle Turner spoke to the command center staff. "Remember, we act only when necessary. Our strength is in our patience and precision. Today, we have shown the galaxy what humans are capable of. Tomorrow, we maintain that readiness." Ethan and Lily walked through the observation deck, looking out at the stars. "Do you think they understand?" Lily asked. "Not yet," Ethan said, "but they will. Humans act when others hesitate. That is our advantage." And today, we reminded them. In the council chamber, whispers began to grow. Alien delegates tried to rationalize what they had seen. Some suggested it must be a trick. Some argued the humans had used unknown technology, but no evidence supported their theories. The humans had acted with patience, intelligence, and courage. The railgun was simple, but unstoppable. The silence was broken only by the whispers of disbelief. Aliens who had once mocked humans now spoke in hushed tones, acknowledging a truth they had refused to see. Humans were not weak. Humans were not simple. Humans were survivors, and their ingenuity was unmatched. On the orbital station, Alex Carter turned to Megan Price. "Do you think they will try again?" Megan shook her head. "Not soon. They have learned their lesson. Humans do not start wars, but when we defend, we do so with precision and power. They will remember that." Ethan watched the feeds showing the alien fleet retreating. Civilians on the human colony were safe, and the humans had shown their strength without unnecessary destruction. They had acted as defenders, not aggressors. Lily whispered, This is the moment the galaxy sees humanity differently. They will not underestimate us again. The railgun platform remained in orbit, silent and ready. It had fulfilled its purpose, but it also served as a reminder. Humans were prepared, humans were patient, and humans were not to be dismissed. In the council chamber, delegates finally began to speak, but their voices were careful, hesitant. They discussed diplomacy in quieter tones, avoiding confrontation. Humans had changed the rules of the galaxy without even being there in person. Their presence had been felt through action, precision, and unyielding determination. Ethan and Lily walked back to the command center, watching the stars. "They will never forget this," Ethan said. "They will remember that humans act when others hesitate," Lily replied. "And they will think twice before challenging us again." Alex and Megan continued monitoring the railgun systems. Every calculation, every sensor, every protocol was verified. Humans had acted with patience and precision. They had proven that even a small species could defend itself against fleets thought unbeatable. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. Humans were not weak. Humans were not simple. Humans were survivors, innovators, and fighters when necessary. And when humans acted, they acted with intelligence, courage, and determination that no one could match. In the council chamber, the silence continued, but it was different now. It was not the silence of arrogance or confidence. It was the silence of understanding. Humans had shown their power, and the galaxy could no longer ignore them. Ethan and Lily returned to their stations. "This is only the beginning," Ethan said softly. "They will remember humans from now on. And they will respect us," Lily added. "Not because we seek war, but because we act when necessary, because we survive, because we endure." Above the planet, the railgun platform waited silently. Its work was done, but its presence remained a warning. Humans had acted with patience, precision, and courage. The galaxy had seen the power of a simple, well-built weapon, and more importantly, the determination of a species that refused to be ignored. Ethan watched the stars, thinking of Earth, of the people living their lives unaware of the battle that had just changed the galaxy's perception. Humans had acted not for glory, but for survival. And that survival had demonstrated something far greater than technology. It had shown the heart of humanity. The alien council would recover, but the lesson was clear. Humans were not to be underestimated. They could defend, they could adapt, and they could endure challenges that no other species could face. And the galaxy would remember. The silence stretched through the stars, but it was filled with meaning. Humans had acted. Humans had survived. Humans had reminded the galaxy that they were a force to be reckoned with. And no one could speak. The alien fleets had retreated, their remaining ships limping back to their home systems. In the council chambers, delegates whispered nervously to one another. For the first time, humans were not considered a minor species. They were not ignored, dismissed, or mocked. They were feared, respected, and studied. Ethan Brooks walked through the human command center, observing the monitors showing alien activity across the galaxy. Every fleet that had challenged humanity was now recalculating, rewriting strategies, and sending scouts cautiously. Humans had changed the rules of the galaxy without even leaving their system. Lily Moore joined him at the observation deck, looking out at the stars. "Do you think they will ever trust us?" she asked quietly. Ethan shook his head. "Trust? No, but they will respect us, and respect is stronger than trust when survival is involved." Below them, Earth was calm. Cities glowed under the night sky, unaware of the shift in galactic power. Humans went about their lives, tending to farms, repairing machines, and studying the stars. They had survived countless challenges on their planet. Now, they had survived the galaxy itself. On the railgun platform, Alex Carter and Megan Price ran final diagnostics. The weapon had proven its worth, destroying multiple alien ships in minutes. The humans had fired it with precision, defending a colony without causing unnecessary destruction. It was not only a weapon but a demonstration of human intelligence and discipline. Alex turned to Megan. "Do you realize what we've done? We've changed the galaxy's perception of humans in one day." Megan smiled faintly. "Yes, and they won't forget it. They may not speak about it, but they will remember. Humans survive. Humans endure. Humans act when others hesitate." Meanwhile, in the council chamber, alien delegates debated in hushed tones. Some wanted revenge, others wanted diplomacy. Every plan they discussed had to consider humans' newfound strength. They could no longer assume that Earth was a weak, unimportant world. Ethan and Lily observed the council feeds, noting the change in tone. "They are starting to understand," Ethan said. "Not fully, but the lesson is being learned. Humans cannot be ignored," Lily nodded. "And the galaxy will respect that, not because we are aggressive, but because we are capable, patient, and willing to act when necessary." Humanity's victory was not loud. There were no grand celebrations or parades in orbit. Instead, there was quiet satisfaction, the calm of people who knew they had done what was necessary. The railgun platform returned to standby, ready for any future threats, but not flaunting its presence. Humans did not need to boast. Their actions spoke louder than words. In the following weeks, human diplomats received messages from alien systems that had never acknowledged Earth before. Requests for communication, trade, and alliances arrived cautiously. Aliens wanted to learn, not to fight. They had underestimated humans for centuries, and they had paid the price. Ethan and Lily worked with these alien diplomats, guiding discussions carefully. Humans were patient. They did not push for dominance, only recognition. They had proven themselves capable of defense. That was enough. Back on the railgun platform, Alex Carter reviewed simulations of potential threats. The weapon had proven itself, but humans were already thinking ahead. They would improve it, make it stronger, more efficient. Humans had survived by adapting, and adaptation was key to their survival in the galaxy. Megan Price joined him. "We have proven the railgun works," she said. "But this is just the beginning. The galaxy will test us again, and we must be ready." Alex nodded. "Humans have always been ready. We survive where others fail. We endure where others collapse, and we act when others hesitate." Ethan and Lily watched a report showing alien colonies beginning to adjust their defense systems. Every fleet, every weapon, every sensor in the galaxy was now recalculating human capability. Humans had fired a simple weapon, but it had rewritten the balance of power. Lily whispered, "They will never underestimate humans again. Not any species, anywhere." Ethan smiled faintly. "No, and they won't want to. Humans survive. Humans endure. Humans act when it matters most. That is the lesson." Meanwhile, humans on Earth continued their normal lives. Children played in fields, farmers tended crops, engineers repaired machines. They did not know that a single railgun shot had changed the galaxy's perception of their species forever. Humanity had survived as it always had, quietly, patiently, and with determination. On the observation deck, Ethan and Lily looked at the stars. "Do you think humanity is ready for what comes next?" Lily asked. Ethan nodded. "We have always been ready. The galaxy will test us, but humans endure. Humans survive. Humans act when necessary. That is who we are." Alex and Megan monitored the railgun, checking for maintenance and updates. They discussed improvements, efficiency, and safety. Humans did not rest on victories. They learned from them, improved, and prepared for the future. The alien fleets that survived returned to their systems, spreading the news of humanity's power. They spoke in whispers, in awe, in fear. Humans had fired a weapon they considered simple, but it had destroyed their ships with ease. The lesson was clear. Earth was not a world to be attacked lightly. In the council chamber, debates began slowly, cautiously. No one laughed at humans anymore. No one mocked their technology. Every plan considered the possibility that humans could defend themselves with precision, intelligence, and courage. Humanity had rewritten its place in the galaxy. Ethan and Lily returned to their observation deck one evening, watching the stars in silence. "The galaxy has learned something important," Ethan said softly. "Humans survive, humans endure, humans act when others hesitate." Lily nodded. "And they will remember it forever." On the Railgun platform, Alex and Megan finished the final checks for the day. The weapon remained silent, ready for any future threat. Its presence alone was a message. Humans did not need to flaunt their strength. Their actions spoke louder than words. Humanity had acted with patience, precision, and courage. They had defended their colonies, protected their people, and shown the galaxy that even a minor species could wield tremendous power. Aliens would speak of this day for generations, if they dared to speak at all. Ethan looked at the stars and thought of Earth. He thought of people living simple lives, unaware of how close danger had come. And he thought of humans, the species that survived against all odds. They had endured disasters, wars, and threats for millennia. Now the galaxy had learned the truth. Humans were a force to be reckoned with. Lily stood beside him. "Do you think we will see peace now?" Ethan shook his head. "Peace is temporary, but respect lasts longer. Humanity has earned respect. And as long as we endure, humans will survive anything the galaxy throws at us." Alex and Megan prepared the railgun for standby mode. It had fulfilled its first mission, but humans knew the galaxy would continue to challenge them. Preparation, intelligence, and courage would remain humanity's greatest weapons. Ethan and Lily walked back to the command center. Every monitor, every sensor, every system was ready for the next threat. Humans had proven their strength, but they would continue to act with patience, precision, and intelligence. That was the way humans survived. That was the way humans endured. The galaxy had learned a lesson it would never forget. Humanity was not weak. Humanity was not simple. Humanity survived, endured, and acted when necessary, and the galaxy would never speak of it lightly again. The railgun remained silent in orbit, a reminder of human determination. Humans had acted when it mattered most. They had defended their people, protected their colonies, and shown the galaxy what it meant to survive. And humanity's place in the stars was secure. The stars above Earth were quiet, but the message was clear. Humans had survived. Humans had endured. Humans had acted. And the galaxy had seen it all. No one would forget.